What do you guys want? Hi, come on in.
Yeah.
Sure, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Felt like I needed to get on my SPF 50 before. We're good. Thank you all very much for having me. I'm super excited to be here. I'm very passionate about my social skills, and I think you're going to see that today. I'm a regular speaker in the community, and I go to schools and talk to teachers and administrators. I go to agencies like Department of Rehabilitative Services, and I go to police. I've spoken to the police before. But I have to say, I think that this is the 5th or 6th year in a row that I've been here, and it's probably my favorite place to talk. I love talking to parents. I don't say this at every talk, by the way. I really mean it. And if I do, I really mean it this time. But it's my favorite conference. I think the people here are great. I just spent the whole afternoon schmoozing with a whole bunch of parents, great people that are very caring and concerned about the well-being of their kids. And to me, it's a great organization. I think, would they say next year is 50 years or something? 20 years? Sorry, whatever. 20, 50? What's the difference? 30. We're going to go back and forth all day. This could be fisticuffs outside, you and me. Who knows? Oh, that's right. And I'm the social skills specialist and the conflict resolution guy, so maybe in the next hour and 15 minutes we can work it out with words. All right, we'll see on that one. Thank you for the intro. I'm Dr. Christopher Haley. I am known as the social skills specialist in Northern Virginia. I do believe there's one other person out there, so I can't say I'm the only one, but I've always been a huge believer that social skills are really the key to success in life. You're going to hear me say this again and again, and that it's social skills that correlate highest with success in one's future, and if you're parents, even more so than school grades. Even more so than, meaning this.
So were you voted most popular?
Was I voted most popular? Yeah, I think I am now with the kids, because I say this with parents with the kids right there. I'm like, oh, Dr. Haley, I don't have to study? Here's my belief. If you're a good communicator, if you're good at listening, if you're good at picking up nonverbal social cues, which a lot of kids sometimes struggle with, if you're good at networking, making connections with people, if you're good at making friends and keeping friends over time, I believe you're going to be successful in life, even if you're a straight C student. I've been practicing since my first master's degree was actually an ABA. Applied behavior analysis, and since 1993, 20 years, and no one ever came in and said, Dr. Haley, what were your grades in school? Not one time. They'd be really shocked by my undergrad grades, really shocked. But no one ever said that. And so I believe that it's the social skills that are really make or break. We all know straight A students or people that we grew up with that nowadays struggle in life because they lack those skills. The exact opposite, my best friend, I grew up in Buffalo, the suburbs of Buffalo. My best friend up there, not the greatest student. C student maybe, but he's wonderful with people, great communicator. He actually owns a big printing company, and he does wonderful in life because of that. So I use words like essential life skills. That's, to me, is what social skills are all about. I am the owner of Psychological and Life Skills Associates. We have 2 locations. One is in Fredericksburg. Does anyone know Fredericksburg? Princess Anne Street, right across from, Carl's Ice Cream. Everybody knows Carl's Ice Cream, apparently. Right across the street from Carl's Ice Cream is our Fredericksburg location. We have a Woodbridge location, and that's on the corner of Prince William Parkway and Minnieville. I think we're the longest standing practice in Prince William County. We were founded by my former business partner, Dr. Tony DeFrancesco, back in 1989. He's semi-retired now, but a wonderful therapist. He founded it back in 1989. I joined the practice and did my residency under his supervision in 1999. And since 1999, I've been teaching my social skills. I started with one group back in 1999. Now I do 12 different groups every week. And just earlier this year in 2013, I needed some additional space because my program kept growing. And right next to Psychological and Life Skills Associates, I opened up the Social Skills Center. I'm very proud of it. A quick plug on my practice on psych and life skills. We have 14 psychologists, social workers, and licensed professional counselors. I took the liberty of putting the bios of my associates in the handout. We basically specialize in everything, given that we have so many associates. From the little ones, which I specialize in and Dr. Long specializes in, all the way up to older adults. Two specific things that we do that I want to mention: Dr. Ludke, Lindsay Ludke, who's been with us, does a lot of psychological testing. So if there's ever an interest or a need for a psychological evaluation, ADHD, anxiety, depression, Asperger's, you name it. She does psychological testing. And we also have a very large neurofeedback, biofeedback program. Yep, that Sandy Mall. Well, that's okay, no problem. That Sandy Mall does. And I took the liberty of putting a brochure in the handouts if you'd like more information on that. And I think that's all I wanted to say about my practice. I like a lot of interaction. I like back and forths. So if you ever have a question or a comment about anything that I'm talking about, feel free. Don't even raise your hand and just jump on in. All right? Now, the lost art of social skills in a social media world. And when I'm talking social media, what we're going to talk about today, it's not just social media. Again, I'm not a huge fan of social media, but today I'm going to talk about social media. I'm also going to talk about cell phones, real popular with the kids these days. I want to talk about video games, real popular, especially with the boys, 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day of this stuff. I'll guarantee you right now, it's 3 o'clock, I'll guarantee you there's middle and high schoolers that probably woke up around 12 and have been playing for 3 hours in a row. But they're going to go till 3 a.m. They're going to go another 12 hours probably. And it's not good. It's not good. So we're going to talk about a whole bunch of different things and how this relates to it. Cell phones is another one too. So a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. So we're going to get right to it. And I'm sorry, 1 second. My phone is vibrating. Let me make sure it's not an emergency. Speaking of which. Sorry, it's my office. All right. That should be enough of that. So anyway, I was talking about the law. Sorry, it's happening again. I got to take, this is my best friend that I spoke of from Buffalo. I haven't spoken to him in the last 20 minutes. 1 second. I'm really good at this, by the way. I don't even have to look. All right, presentation's going good. Thanks for asking. Okay. All right, now let's get, wait, no, I'm good. No, this is true. I'm coming back to it. I'm coming. You're not going to believe what just happened. It's buzzing again. Hang on. It is my mother's cousin's sister's uncle's aunt's former college roommate. This is really important. I got to get to it. Anyway, I'm joking here. I'm joking. But I got to point to this. No, listen. This is the. I got to tell you. This is the life of a teenager. It's this. And then there's this. Then there's this. And then there. My goal is to get this to work. There we go. I think it's going to keep doing that repeatedly. Am I on candid camera? Is this? Okay. My goal today, really, I have two goals. My secondary goal today is to share information with you. I think I have a wealth of information. I really think you're going to enjoy that. My primary goal with you guys today is to develop a relationship with you. How can I develop a relationship with you guys if this is what goes on? This, then this, then this. It's impossible. Life's about connections with people. So if this is where society is going, I'm really concerned about it. I can, just as I have all these asides, I can probably count about 50 times when I've been in session with a teenager and they pulled out their phone. As we're talking, just pull it out like nothing. Like, oh, I got to get that. I don't think so. No, I don't think you're going to get that. How many times have you been in a dentist's office or a general practitioner and says no cell phones? You see people pulling them out all the time. The best story I have about this, and it just boggles my mind. I'm working with a mom and a teen with a highly conflicted relationship, severe conflict. They're facing each other and they're trying to work this stuff out, and it's going somewhere for once. It's nice. as they're talking, mom gets a call, picks up, starts taking the call and says, oh, you two keep talking. Me and the kid. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? It's the direction society's going in, and there's a, my whole message today, I'll just tell you in a nutshell. There's a sports analyst, an NFL guy. His name is Chris Berman. When he talks about football, he talks about like some great players, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and he says about these guys, you can't stop them. You can only hope to contain them. And what he means is, instead of Peyton Manning getting his 5 touchdowns for the other team, let's see if we can just hold him to 2. Let's try and contain him. And that's what this is all about. You're not going to stop it. Let's do the best we can to try to contain it so it doesn't have a negative influence on the children and adolescents of our community, on your kids, on my kids. Anyway, let's get going. This is great. What is social media? I had no idea before I did this what the definition of social media is. Get a load of this. Forms of electronic communication as websites for social networking and blogging, through which users create online communities to share information, ideas, personal messages, and other content as videos. Isn't this nice? It's so benign. You know, we're sharing information, sharing ideas. We can have personal messages. Like the clouds are clearing in the sun. Oh, how nice this is. Now, the reality is it's not so nice. It sounds nice, but it isn't. I made a commitment. Didn't follow through with it. But I made a commitment that when I was putting this presentation together, that I was going to learn, just immerse myself in social media. I was going to know everything in the world about this stuff. Didn't do it. Can't do it. I can't do it. You guys have probably heard of some. Facebook I'm on. I get on there about once every 3 months. I was forced to get on there. I was forced to get on there because I wanted my social skills center on Facebook. Hey, it's 2013. I got to get on there. You can't put a business on Facebook apparently unless you have a personal Facebook. So I'm on there. I don't really use it. Is anyone on Facebook? Probably a lot of people are, right? Yeah. Anyone on LinkedIn? Like professionals connecting? YouTube is pretty popular. Not so bad. You get to put some nice warm fuzzy stuff on there. Twitter? Anyone? Who tweets? I'm just trying to think about my day. What would I have tweeted? I got up at 5, had breakfast, came to Hilton High School, met some nice people.
No, I got
3 p.m., I had a nice talk.
I got a message on my Starbucks. Sorry to interrupt.
That's okay.
You can tweet a coffee.
What?
I'm not a tweeter, so I don't.
You can tweet a what?
You can tweet a you can put $5. I don't know, but
You're
you put it
sending an
on
electronic gift card through Twitter,
through
basically.
Twitter. Did you get that? Yeah.
Okay.
So I came yesterday. I had no idea.
I find utility in that, though. That's actually okay. It's a way.
You don't have to talk to anybody. You know, you thank the gardener, you thank whomever. That's what it is. It says you can thank. Send a teacher,
Okay.
send somebody, but that way there's no social interaction.
So my parents are retired in Florida. If I want to send them a cup of Starbucks coffee, I can do that.
You may indeed.
All right. All
They
right.
still have to go pick it up, but you're paying for it.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting.
I think
Okay.
it's tweet a cup.
Tweet a cup. That doesn't sound that bad. You know, what I ate for breakfast? I ate some prunes. This one's popular. Instagram. Instagram, anybody? This is the one where it's big with the kids. They post all these pictures. You take a picture on your phone. Instagram. WordPress I tried to use. I couldn't. It's on my website. I was on my website. It has to do with blogging. And the guy who did my website said, hey, you have to do this WordPress to blog. I blogged one time. I'm like, I couldn't do it. It's because I was 88 to 92. I just missed the computer stuff. And I never took the time to learn. Tumblr is very popular. Again, this is a blogging thing with kids. Does anyone know Vine? You want to tell them about Vine?
15-second videos that loop. So you're seeing and hearing the same 15 seconds over and over again.
Yeah.
It's inane, but people are doing artsy things with it. So.
Oh. Is it good? Is it?
It depends on who you are and what your use for it is, right?
Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. Okay. If you have kids, you know Minecraft.
It's a
Very,
game, I don't.
it is a game, but there's apparently a social piece to it. Apparently there's some social, and then the one for the adults, this World of Warcraft. Anyone familiar with this? It is a game, I don't know, I've never seen it, but it's a game that often adults play. I'm sure teenagers play it too. But you form these guilds. It's the one with the guilds, and you go on forces together and
Mixed with like Lord of the Rings. It's electronic Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
electronic Dungeons and Dragons. But there's a social piece to it, and you join forces and you chat back and forth. Do they wear the headsets and talk too?
Yes.
Do they? Okay. Huh? Yeah. So this is it. When we are talking about social media, this is it.
You need to add Snapchat.
Yeah,
because that's what
Snapchat's
the-
big.
I've never even heard of it. Out of the loop.
All of your kids, I'm sure, are sexting with Snapchat.
And they're hiding it from
That's
you.
the
So
new
now when you
thing.
go to
Sexting with Snapchat. What does it do? Yeah.
I hate it. I think it's absolutely pointless. 'Cause I think it's no different than sending a picture message through texting. But what happens is you send a picture and it deletes after 5 seconds. So
Oh. You know what? I did hear about that. I
so
did.
Stockbrokers are sharing information that way, and that's how
Yeah.
they're being the stock market right now.
Or
We're giving
not
away
great.
information, but teenagers use it for sex.
Unbelievable.
Mhm.
Wow. Shady. I-
Yeah. It lives out there somewhere, but unless you're
Right.
super tech savvy, the typical mom, dad, teacher's not gonna see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody
Snapchat
gets it somewhere.
deletes after 5 seconds, and let's say you screenshot it, it will let the other person know that you screenshotted it, so they know that you saved the picture, but otherwise it's automatically deleted. And so if I see that, like, oh, you got a picture, and like, as a parent, I come over and grab it, I'm not gonna be able to see what you just saw.
So shady.
Until you go for the job interview and they pull it up.
Yeah, you go exactly. Exactly.
On the other end, does
The
it,
other person sees it, but it deletes on their end after 5 seconds.
it deletes on their
It's perfect for sexting. It is.
That's
Yeah.
what it's used for.
Yeah. It's so unhealthy.
the way they can save it?
If you screenshot it, you have to be really, really fast to do that. Because I mean, it's literally like 5
Oh,
seconds.
you take the picture of the screen, yeah, I got
It's
it.
the only way that you can save it.
I've only ever done that by mistake. so.
Usually my favorite part of a presentation is talking about what do you do about it, what the interventions are. Not for this one. Not for this one. Some of the figures that we're going to talk about to me, jaw dropping. Jaw dropping. Let's get to that right now. Here's some facts on Facebook. The numbers, every single figure I'm going to show you today, the number's more. Does anyone know what the current number of Facebook users is? You're not going to believe it. 1 billion. 1 out of every 7 people on the planet. 1 in 7. 1 billion on Facebook. Now you get to the problems. The average user, and I know the number's more than this now, 130 friends. Is it what?
I think it's closer to 1,000. I think they just said that on,
Of friends?
yes.
1,000? Who has 1,000? Who has 130 friends?
They're not your.
I don't know 130 people by name, I don't think.
Right,
100
they're just the people who connect or whatever, so it was on the news the other night.
Well, the definition, apparently the definition of friend is I send a request and if you click on it, you're my friend, right? Isn't that the definition? I don't know.
I think I have 15.
50? Yes, and people you know, right?
My family.
Your family, exactly. People you know, people that you've met face to face. It's very unhealthy. It leads to some stuff we'll talk about later. Scary, 25% do not have privacy controls, meaning that anybody and their grandmother can type in your name and see what you're up to with whatever you put on there. I think over 50% of employers go to Facebook now to see what you're up to. Over 50%.
What's your political
What do you do? What are you up to? Yes. Yes. Yep. What are they going to see? You're drunk, all passed out because you wanted to show that to your friends. Man.
Sometimes friends will put your picture on there without you knowing.
Yeah. Well, is it one of the 130 friends?
If it's not something you put on, they had pictures of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's happened to me, where somebody dug out pictures
It's just not
of
okay.
college and put it on and said,
How disrespectful. What a violation that is.
you know,
Horrible.
I don't even go in.
Horrible. 88% of 13-year-olds, 88, number's probably higher, 88% of 13-year-olds are on there. That's a big number. That's a lot. 9 out of every 10 kids. Any comments on Facebook? I'm going to keep on going.
No, it's scary.
It gets worse. It doesn't get better. I'd love to be optimistic here, guys. I'm going to quiz you now. Alrighty. What percent of teens own a cell phone?
95. 75.
75%. 75. It's going to be 95% at some point.
And they probably don't have food to eat it for dinner,
Right.
but they have a cell phone.
They have
Yeah,
an Apple phone
and-
at that.
In my social it is yeah, in my social skills groups, when they get the iPhone, they pull it out and they flash it. And God forbid you should have one of those, like the little, what do you call, not the flip phones, or like the old ones that they slid like this. Oh, gee. The kids on the other side of the tracks have those. No, yeah. Oh, look at my iPhone 5. 75%. Number one reason why teens get, now this is changing a little bit, but the number one reason, is it to make phone calls? No. I don't think so. Is it to get on the internet? No. Pictures? Not at all. Texting. But with the advent of this Instagram, and probably with this Vine, I bet you more it's for the pictures / it should say pictures / videos. I bet you with that there's going to be more for that, but it's all, okay, I'm with you, yeah. That's what I was doing before.
Does anybody here watch Duck Dynasty?
Yeah.
Uncle Si? I've never seen it. But I saw a lot of Uncle Si Halloween costumes.
But they took away Sadie's phone, his daughter's phone, because she had 3,000 texts a month.
Hey, here you go.
That's,
Nice segue.
that's extraordinary.
Nice segue. Perfect.
Oh, great. Thank
Here we go. Text per A, B, C, or D. Average text per month. This is laughable. For a 13 to 17-year-old, I'm probably giving it away. Anyone?
Sadie.
D. Gets even better. This is the most jaw-dropping one for me. They did the study for 13 to 17-year-olds, and then they broke it down boys versus girls. All right, any guesses? Boys, 2,200. Girls, ready for this one? 4,400 plus. It was like 4,400 something. Is anyone good at math? How much is that? What is that per day? It's like 200 a day? What is it, 150 a day?
150 something. But I don't know what.
Who's got time for that?
I don't know.
Do parents allow that? What goes on at dinner?
They don't know that happens. It's when they're like at school or they're going to
They're
bed.
not allowed to do that.
Isn't it true though that, wait, this isn't it Prince William County now lets you have your cell phones and you can, some teachers will let you pull it out if you want and play with it and whatever.
You see it in these
Certain
During the
times.
class time,
Only
like in
during certain
between,
times.
at lunch,
Lunchtime.
not in between classes.
I'm at an elementary school in Fairfax, and they do have their phones, some of them, because you can use it for the internet, because other people are bringing their iPads. If you don't have your iPad mini or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
they bring their cell phone, and they can use that in lieu of buying the $97, I never learned how to do it, that calculator or whatever you can do. You can do it all on your phone now. You don't have to buy that calculator. So they have them, and of course, they're Googling everything and under the moon, and somebody will say, can I use the phone? And I say no, and they say, oh, but I'll just use mine. And I just, no. But they have them,
Yep.
and there's all sorts of information, and then they say, no, I don't have a lock on mine, and I say, are you kidding, really? Because everything is on there that the next person who picks it up is going to have.
Absolutely. I was actually impressed when I got here. Is anyone getting reception here? I had to go.
I had to go outside.
I had to go outside. So is that true of what goes on during? Because then I think it would be a good thing if there's no, because then they're not going to
It's
be.
on your provider.
Oh, okay.
Depends on which location, because I was able to make a call down by the
Were ya?
auditorium.
Yeah, mine I was not able to.
But prior years, you had to go outside. They must have done something here since last November, because there used to be no reception.
None.
Yeah.
No. Let's keep going with some other numbers. We're going to stick with texting for a second. This, again, it's.
You need to walk by the library in the school and look at their bulletin board after you receive that.
I'll have to do that. This, get out of your way.
It says books are like.
I pulled this, well, you're gonna laugh. I pulled this off of a list of over 1,000 text chat lingo. LOL? Yeah, okay. This is LOL. It's either laugh or laughing out loud. IDK?
I don't know.
TY? Yep. LMAO?
I had to Google that actually.
Laugh. Okay. WTF? Everybody? No WTF. What the? Here's some ones. Here's some ones that I'm like, what? 53X. Anybody 53X? Teen talk for sex. So instead of putting sex in, 53X. Come to my house for some 53X. And your parent looks at it. Your parent looks at it like 53X. I don't know what that is. Who knows 420? Yeah, 420 is it's not it's for marijuana, but 420 is like the big. I don't know if it was what I heard. What these teens tell me is that it's the police code for a marijuana bust or something, so that on April 20th they all go down to the mall in DC and get high. Or 4:20 in the afternoon. I heard it at the last talk when I was talking about 4:20. Like, it's not just April 20th. It's also 4:20 in the afternoon. And I guess if you're up in the wee hours in the morning, 4:20 in the morning. If you're awake and baker, 4:20. ASL, for parents, be very careful with this. This is what the perpetrators go. Age, sex, location. Meaning, your kid, if you have a 14-year-old daughter, and she's blogging or posting or whatever she's doing, and someone comes in with ASL, this is some person asking, how old are you? What are you male or female? And where do you live? Because you know what? If you have a 14-year-old that gets back and says, well, I'm 14 and I'm a girl and I live in Woodbridge, guess what the person's going to respond? It's probably some pervert that's saying, oh, you know what? Well, I'm 13 and I live in Woodbridge. Want to get together? ASL, very scary.
That's big in chat rooms. That was like when I was growing up. I didn't think it was real relevant anymore.
But it's not relevant anymore?
I didn't think it was because it was like something that happened in chat rooms.
Okay.
People aren't really randomly texting people anymore, like calling people.
Yeah.
So it'd be like more like you're going to like an AOL chat room back in, like when I was growing up in the 90s.
It'd be very nice if that were no longer around. Sitcom. Seinfeld, Big Bang Theory, not even close. No Cosmo Kramer here. This one, I was going through the list of 1,000, and I couldn't, flabbergasted. Single income, 2 children, oppressive marriage, as in my life is a sitcom. True, it's in there. My life is a sitcom. Y'all know how Webster's dictionary, when a word becomes like part of the culture, one that just got in there was ginormous. You all know ginormous? So they put it, if it's regularly used, they put it in Webster's dictionary. The single income, 2 children, oppressive marriage. So this LOL, this is now in this Merriam-Webster's dictionary. The funniest thing, I'm like thinking about it. So, they list the root of the word. Is it Greek? Is it Latin? LOL, root. Computer, root. Text. What do you put for the root of that word? Yeah, that's the lingo.
Is P911.
What's that?
The text that means my parents can see like when I'm typing, so lets the other person know.
It's crafty.
So lets the other
Very
person
crafty.
know, oh, let's make it very PG right now.
P91. Any others?
No, I don't really know any. I just know from my guys at the program. I know from I have an individual who's 20 years old but still in school, so it
Yeah.
keeps me up to date on a lot that I gotta keep up with.
Another aside, I always vowed to keep up, as a child psychologist, to keep up with the younger generations, and I lost it when the pants were down and like the hat was turned a little bit crooked. I never made it back. I'm lucky, I have 2 girls, 10 and 7, so I haven't gotten there yet. I'm getting there though, I'm getting there. Whoop, I messed that one up. Okay, let's switch to video games. Percentage, this one's easy. Percentage of boys that play video games, guys? Yeah. 94. 94. 94. 19 out of every 20. and again, some of these kids, it's nonstop. It's all day, every day. Just had, and the younger kids, and they brag. I had an 8-year-old in there this week that was bragging about playing the new game. I don't know this Battlefield 4. A young 8-year-old, and I had a teen show me a scene from it. It's a war scene. There's amputations going on, and they show it. 8 years old, playing this.
Very realistic.
It's very realistic. Yeah, the graphics, Pac-Man's gone. Gone to the day, one joystick, one button. That's all I need. You know, these kids with all the controls like this, and there's all these buttons. I don't know how they do it. Check this out. Jaw-dropping. Average age of a video game addict.
20.
Anyone else?
That's not 35.
35.
Is that right?
35 years old is the average age of a video game addict. Scary.
Wow.
Don't these people work? What do they do? Get a job.
Exactly.
Get a job.
These are the people who aren't looking for jobs anymore.
Yes.
Now, is that because at 35 they grew up with like it starting from NES and moving on to something?
Absolutely. I unfortunately, well, fortunately, because they're in treatment, one of the 12 groups I do is an adult group, but they're on the spectrum, and some of them. So there's 4 in there. 2 of them work, but they are this type. They are this type of I want to spend all day, every day, playing video games. That's just their passion. They're so passionate. They're so into it. Definitely addicts.
It's like living vicariously.
And the parents allow it. And they allow it. And they're holed up in their room, you know, with the door shut. They bring their dinner up there. So that sort of stuff. You know, the mom and dad often do the laundry.
And marriages, if they're married, they crumble because
Oh yeah. I've known parents where the dad goes right down to the basement when he gets home from work to play the World of Warcraft or similar. 35 years old. Let's get into what we can do about it. Alternatives to video games. This is definitely not an exhaustive list, but keep some of these ideas in mind for those of you that do have kids that are getting more towards becoming an addict. I grew up in the 70s. Family walks, family games. Game night with the family is such a good idea. On a Sunday night to have a movie night or a game night. It's awesome. Yep, going off on a picnic. Old-fashioned board games, my favorite, because it's absolutely, dancing good too. My favorite game is chess, and let me tell you why. Chess is a great game to teach kids because it is a metaphor for life. Chess is all about planning. You all know executive functioning? For executive function is planning, organization, short-term memory. And with chess, you have to plan offensively, you have to plan defensively, you have to plan your moves in advance, you have to take your time and think instead of acting impulsively. If you act impulsively in chess, you're probably going to lose. Chess is a great game to teach kids. I did for many of the individual clients that I see in my practice at the Social Skills Center. We do a lot of chess. It's great for life. Joining a club and a sports team, I highly encourage all parents to do a forced choice with kids. All kids should be in at least one activity. I know, again, this is Northern Virginia where people are busy and kids are involved in 18 zillion things. That's going too far the other way. But all kids, you should do an A, B, C, and D. See, you have to pick one. There's no E, none of the above. You got to pick one thing. Art, dance, music lessons, adopting a pet is a great way, especially for autistic spectrum disorder kids, to help with empathy training and responsibility. You know, dogs are really helpful when it comes to things like that. Teaching responsibility is important. So a pet is 100% dependent on its owners, especially a dog. Not for everybody. Reading a book, joining a church youth group right by my office across from Garfield High School. I think is it Christ Chapel that's across from Garfield? Yeah. That I hear very good things about the youth group there. I think all kids should volunteer at some point. try adventurous activities. Well, I was big into the skateboarding back in the day, and we did it as a social thing. We had one of those half pipes in my backyard, so all the kids in the community would come. It's great for social stuff. It was great. We had Atari 2600, so there was no addiction chance there. But to keep away from the electronics or the TV. TV was popular back in the day. Skateboarding, I think, is a good thing. Boy Scouts. There's a whole host of things, and it's so important to get the kids involved in it and to really not. The key with the video games is you don't want to start it. Once you start it and the kids are involved in the 6 hours a day after school, then then you don't want to put an oppositional defiant kid when you pull it away. So you start young. You always want to start young, if you can. But it's never too late. If you have a child that's an addict, you still get them away. Comments? Anyone have any other ideas that are not on there?
Just say no.
Just say no. Yeah.
And the meltdown starts.
Yeah. Well, part of just saying no is you can't be an addict yourself when it comes to the video. How do you, if you're a parent who's already an addict, when so many of these parents are, average age 35, how do you tell your kids don't do it? It's like smoking. No, kid, you shouldn't be smoking. Yeah, so you have to model the right thing to do. Change, with the families I see, change starts at the top. The mom and dad need to be working together before you're going to get any change with a child. Far too often, parents have different parenting styles and they don't meet behind closed doors and work together. Now for the obvious. Here's the negatives of social media, texting, video games. It facilitates deception and disingenuousness. 130 friends or 1,000 friends. You can go online and pretend to be somebody that you're not. You can go on Facebook and post pictures with friends and make it seem like you're the socialite of the party, and really you're not. It teaches you to be fake and not real. You don't get that. With face-to-face communication, people are pretty savvy. People can pretty much tell what's going on, not when it's online. It facilitates passivity, and I have some good stories here. Relationships, again, so many teams that I see, they break up texting. How do you learn how to break up in a relationship if you do it via texting? What does that mean when you have your first job at Burger King and you don't want to work there anymore? You text the manager, I don't want to work here anymore. I quit.